Hey there, food fans. Welcome back to the Food for Thoughtcast. With me, your host, Melissa Reagan. As always, you can call me Chef, and I am joined by my incomparable, amazing, and official co-host, Chef Steven Gonzalez. What's up, Steve?
Hi, I thought you were gonna say with my incompetent sidekick, Steven. Well, so yeah, that
it's
sounds about
the
right. Yeah, I can live
it's
with that
the
one.
post. I'll put it in post. It'll be good. It'll be good.
Right.
Uh, what's going on, man?
Oh, not much. Just getting ready for some holidays to be over or to happen. I don't one of the two.
Yes. So for anybody who's listening or watching out there, and you're going to be like, "You're both Grinches," it hits way different when you're involved in hospitality and retail. And I
You're
am
darn right,
ready.
you're
I'm ready for it to
darn
be
right.
over.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
I'm ready for it to be over. All
Yeah.
right. But anyway, I have to ask, what was the most amazing thing you ate this week? Did you eat something amazing this week, or have you just been like crushing? Like,
I have just been working quite a bit.
mhm.
So before yesterday, we ended up having just an easy tuna casserole, which I'm always down for.
Yes. Okay.
And
Tell me
yeah,
about it.
I mean, it's just the classic mac and cheese with tuna and cream of mushroom, and then you just start adding stuff, and next thing you know, you have like this big old blob of a casserole dish, and you throw it in the
Do you
oven. Oh
do
yeah.
you start with Kraft for that?
No,
No.
no, not at all. So let's see, tuna, the HB brand mac and cheese. Let's see, cream of mushroom, cream of asparagus soup. I don't know why we used the cream of asparagus, but that's just what we had. And then I
Because
just
you wanted
had like,
your pea to smell in two different ways, tuna
yes,
and asparagus.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we did
Okay.
shredded cheese. What else? Chicken broth. I was gonna start like getting even more creative and throwing like mushrooms and onions and bacon, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, no, keep it simple. And then like
So
once it was done, you just add like those goldfish crackers on top. Done.
yes. So are you peas or no peas in there?
Tonight we went with no peas. Or I
Mm,
mean, last night we went with no peas only because we didn't have them. Otherwise, I don't mind them.
yeah. I mean, it's a good filler. I mean, if you need to stretch, right? Like it's kind of like adding oats to, or rice to meatloaf, I guess. But
I would do it. Yeah,
so
totally.
I I have like a love hate relationship with tuna casserole. Um I'm known to call it around here Satan's breakfast. Um it's something about the way tuna smells when you open it. Now the pouches aren't that bad. But when I make it, I like to crush cheddar sour cream ruffles on top, and I'll do cream of mushroom soup, sour cream, chopped scallion, and a French onion soup packet, and then egg noodles and very well drained tuna, and then peas or sometimes broccoli.
I
So
always like adding mushrooms if I got them. If I
yeah,
don't,
yeah, yeah,
then one less thing.
yeah, 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 right. I feel cream of mushroom is like you can switch it in and out of certain places. It's
Yeah.
noticeable.
What about you?
So
What's the best thing you had all week?
let's see. Man, you know how the business goes sometimes. Today for breakfast, I had a Snickers and a Celsius energy drink at 6:45. But yeah, no. Okay, so this past week, I actually was privileged to get to eat some starters at Georgie's by Curtis Stone. So Curtis Stone might know him from the Food Network. And I had a bluefin tuna tataki and potato churros. It was pretty out of sight. And then the tuna tataki they smoked and it like came in a glass dome, and then they took it
Uh-huh.
off and like swirled the smoke around, like, and it had some pea shoots and a little fennel, and it was phenomenal.
Dynamite.
Phenomenal. Dude, it was really, really good. Other than that, the good people at Good Friends bar and burger here, my local joint, they've been taking care of me all week long with nachos and wings and burgers and fries and beer. But yeah, I got a little bougie the other night, but it was good.
Nice.
So
That's the way
yeah,
it's supposed to be. Right around
yeah.
the holidays, you can see all the everything in the background. Yeah, this is us getting ready for the holidays, presents and all sorts of nonsense.
Is
So
that Steven's workshop?
yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, you're
So
not hiding an elves in there, are you?
if you can see them in the background, I'm not
like,
forcing them to work. They are choosing
blink
to.
twice if it's not okay.
Yeah, hopefully in about a week all this will go away, but it is what it is.
I hear you. I hear you. If I tilted the camera down a little bit more, you could see like all the chaos, but I'm not going to, because conveniently I fill enough of the frame to create this illusion of like a minimalist aesthetic and nice clean area. So
I thought about it before we recorded, and I just said, "This is me."
you were like drape
Chaos and all.
like drape a bed sheet over and be like, it's a beautiful recording.
You're giving me too much credit there, Melissa. I couldn't do that.
He's like, we don't have a bed sheet. But anyway, tonight, so it's upon us. Christmas is in 8 days, and tonight we are talking about the food and drinks that are mentioned in holiday songs. We're going to see if they're legit, talk about what we've eaten before, what we haven't, the best ways to make it. There are some crazy references to all things edible in Christmas and holiday music. So we're going to get started.
Let's do it. Bring it on.
Okay. In the song, let's get ready to, yes, exactly. In the song, My Favorite Things from the movie The Sound of Music, which I've never really understood why it's considered a Christmas song, but I think that's another conversation and another podcast perhaps. But they mention apple strudel. You ever had apple strudel?
I have. I like it.
I like it too. Strudel, very closely related to Danish. It's all in the layers and all in the way that the dough is prepared. I like a nut component though, like apple walnut, cherry pecan type.
Yeah. Because you get that extra little texture out of it. And I mean, granted, like the dough is always lovely, but yeah, when you get that nuttiness out of it, it's just like 10 times better.
Yeah. I was like a hyphenated ingredient. It sounds silly, but I mean, sometimes if you've got like pie, strudel, Danish, something like that, if it's all one texture, it just gets a little bit boring after a while. And so, right when she's singing, she says apple strudel and then schnitzel with noodles. What say you about schnitzel with noodles?
I can't say anything really about it because I'm confused about it because it's like, and it's always thrown me off. Are they like having like, all that together as one, or is it like dinner and dessert?
Right. So schnitzel, German pounded cutlet, very, very thin, usually served with a little spritz of lemon, maybe some parsley as a garnish, usually lots of butter, triple breaded, super duper thin. It's like German's answer to a scallopini,
yeah.
But with noodles, right? So you're like, okay, well, is it like egg noodles? Is it spetzel? Like what are we talking about here? It kind of seems like strange. I mean, the movie takes place in most of Austria, but
yeah.
I can't imagine. I mean, it sounds like a really good meal, right? Like a breaded thin pork cutlet with apple pastry and noodles. Like, I'm down.
I hope there's no ice cream with that.
I want that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I could see it going savory, but I could also see it going sweet without the schnitzel.
Yeah.
Me.
Wait,
but I would.
What?
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
But yeah, like I can see it. Like I don't know. Like it's just always throwing me off. I'm like, are they having like a big old apple strudel like on a cutlet or like yeah? I'm overthinking it is what I'm doing.
He's like doing that Arby's. He's trying to make it Arby's Meat Mountain over here.
Right?
Put all the things on top of the things,
Things and things and more things.
I've eaten a lot more weird items, so it's no big deal to me. All right. Next is You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. So the song says that the Grinch is a bad banana with a greasy black peel, with a dead tomato for a heart. And he also says he'd rather eat a 3-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce. The narrator, the singer. So we're gonna go like one thing at a time, I guess.
I think the Grinch was on a mission to just destroy as many lives as humanly possible, you know?
Yep.
That just sounds like a bad gas attack or heartburn, one of the two.
All right, well, let's start with the bananas. So, like, when you eat a banana, do you want one that's super bright? Will you eat it after it has like a little brown spots on it, or do you go for like a more green banana?
I will eat a green banana. I will eat a brown banana. I will eat a yellow banana. Yes, Sam, I am. I don't care. I like bananas.
If they get too brown and it affects the texture on the inside of the peel, I can't do it.
They get too sweet, but like when I was younger, I didn't care. Yeah, I still really don't. I don't eat them like I used to because my wife doesn't like bananas. But whenever I do have banana from time to time, I don't really care. Yeah, I like that flavor, that mushiness, the starchy and all that. Oh, it's good.
Yeah,
and they're very good for you.
They are very good for you. I mean, I think it really depends on what I'm in the mood for. I'm at work so much that I usually end up freezing bananas, and after that, they're only good for like smoothies and banana nut bread. So, if in the event that I'm eating a fresh banana, it probably costs $2 from 7-Eleven in a last ditch effort to get some produce into me, and it's like super green. So, yeah.
About it, yeah.
So the Grinch is a bad banana with a greasy black peel, which doesn't sound appetizing at all. Garlic in his soul. So garlic.
Vampires must hate him.
Vampires hate this guy. We talked about garlic a little bit in the braising episode. So you were talking about how elephant garlic can give a little bit of a sweetness depending on how you use it. Do you have a preference between granulated garlic, garlic powder, garlic salt? Like, what's your ideal garlic situation?
My ideal garlic situation would be having time to like just roast off bulbs of garlic. But if I don't have that, I'm good with granulated garlic. I don't mind it.
I like granulated garlic. I feel like it's, like any of the dried herbs, right? Like you have to add it to the end of a dish to get the maximum, unless you're using it in like a spice rub or something, right? Like with the maximum garlic flavor. At home, I will confit garlic just in olive oil on the stove, like super duper slow, and then usually I'm pureeing it into something else, like marinara sauce or something like that.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
I'm
about that lifestyle.
All about that lifestyle.
There's garlic gang right here. Confit garlic gang, whatever you want to call it.
But what about eating a banana with garlic?
I've never done that. I don't.
Are you saying you would do that?
You would have to, like, if it was confit garlic and it had that little bit of sweetness coming out, that would be a tough one. But I would have to try it.
I don't know. I don't
I wouldn't. I don't know if I would like it or not.
Luckily for us, the song doesn't say all of the things are together, except for the last part. So, a 3-decker sauerkraut sandwich. Three layers, right? So this is the world's worst club sandwich. It's like a club sandwich of misery. So the first part is sauerkraut.
Yeah.
Yay or nay sauerkraut?
I'm not a big sauerkraut person.
No? Really?
Not a big sauerkraut person at all.
Do you like kimchi, though?
Do I like what?
Kimchi.
I mean, I'm not a kimchi person either. I could do small amounts. That's the thing. I could do a little bit, but whenever you give me a lot, I'll pass. Or I'll just leave a lot of it behind,
Yeah. No, I get it. I like almost all things fermented, and I love pickled things and acid and things like that. So sauerkraut is my jam. There are certain variations of it that I don't enjoy. I don't like the more Bavarian style with the caraway seeds. But I like a fresh sauerkraut, like you can buy it Whole Foods. It's still living, right? It hasn't been canned or cooked. Like it's still a live ferment. Really, really like that stuff. Now it says toadstool, a toadstool sandwich. Is that like a mushroom? What do you think? What is going on? What's a toadstool? Is it a mushroom? Do you have to consult the Googles?
Isn't that like a princess that gets saved by Mario or something like that?
Yeah, toad. So apparently a toadstool is a spore-bearing, fruiting body of a fungus, typically in the form of a rounded cap on a stalk. So the closest thing to this would be like it's the classic presentation, right? It's kind of like the cartoon version. It's a thick white stem with the red and white spotted top. So it looks like Toad from Mario, right? I guess that's where they're getting it from.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're all edible, but would you put mushrooms and sauerkraut on a sandwich?
I'm getting a little bit of a queasy feeling in my stomach just thinking about that right now. So I'm gonna have to pass.
Okay, what if you like this is my least favorite word in the world ever, almost. But what if you deconstructed sauerkraut and went backwards and it was just cabbage? Do you ever use cabbage and mushrooms together?
You know, I've never even thought about doing that. I'd
It
imagine
seems-
you could probably use like some sort of shiitakes and some cabbage together. I'd imagine they would complement each other in some way. I can't say I've ever had them together though.
Yeah,
No.
right. I feel like it's two things that would give off a whole bunch of water. So it'd have to be like a really, had it very dry, super high heat, like small amount of fat, a wok situation or something like that.
Yeah.
And of course, the last part, arsenic
Yeah.
sauce. That's just kind of for show, for funsies in the song. You can get an arsenic sauce if you were to like grind up enough apple seeds.
Apple seeds?
Yeah, apple seeds, like a really large amount. And even then, your stomach acid could take care of some. But yeah. We're gonna say
just sounds like he wasn't a very sweet boy,
We're gonna say the Grinch
He's not a sweet boy.
is not a culinarian by any standards. So
he's one of those who eats nothing but frozen foods. His gastrointestinal tract sounds like it would be a nightmare to deal with.
Right. No, totally.
Just saying.
The next song is Little Saint Nick by the Beach Boys. So they are starting to talk about Santa's sled being candy apple red. Candy apples, I believe you like those, if I remember correctly.
Candy apples are not bad. Remember, I will not take a bite out of them from the stick. I will have to cut them because I'm afraid of cracking a tooth.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart.
But I
don't Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I also think the Beach Boys were Ford Mustang fans because if I remember correctly, there's candy apple red, so it's a twofer,
Yeah, no, I mean they were talking about Santa's sled, but then they have like the they have the other song. What is it? Oh, about the T-bird. Yeah. So,
to be honest, I'd have to do this song to remember it. I don't remember.
Right. I don't ever equate candy apples with Christmas, though. I mean, I think this one is a little bit of a stretch. I always think about them at Halloween. So,
I can see that. Yeah, I can see them I can see them both. I can even see them in the summertime for some reason. I think candy apples are probably enjoyed year round, but I can see them being enjoyed for Christmas time just because of the color. Bright, vibrant colors, and you get into the spirit and all that. I can see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. The next food item is candy canes. So in the song, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. They talk about candy canes. So seeing candy canes being one of the signs that Christmas is coming. So candy canes date all the way back to 1670. Invented in Germany, the Cologne Cathedral.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I didn't even know that.
Right?
I like mint. I like minty stuff, but I'm not a big candy cane person. It's the weirdest thing ever, right?
Really? Is so not even if it's sweet or crunchy? Neither one? Or not sweet, soft or crunchy?
I mean,
peppermints?
Like I can do, I don't know, like if you give me like thin mints or like minted flavored stuff, yeah, I'm okay with it. But candy canes,
sure.
I kind of associate it because it's so, like you can get like those real hard ones. Again, I think it's just in my mind like, hey, you might crack a tooth. Maybe if it was like candy cane with like taffy or something, I might be about that.
Dental PTSD, Steve.
Well, so I would hate to break one of my front teeth and then you smile and then everyone's looking at your face like, huh, I wonder how he broke that tooth.
I get it.
It's me. I associate a lot of hard foods and cracking teeth.
The original candy canes were all white, and so sorry, guys. Just yawning. I'm just tired. Tired of December already. So they're said to be curved. They're said to be curved to represent a shepherd's crook, like in biblical times. So I prefer like a Bob's soft peppermint stick, and I have eaten enough of those in one sitting to feel sick. I like mint. I like mint everything. I like all of it. So I like all of it. I'll even mess around with some of the flavors, like the blue raspberry ones, the bubblegum lime, like the different color. I kind of feel the same way about candy canes as I do Tootsie Rolls. So yeah, the more the merrier. The more the merrier. Next up is
fun, though.
I mean, yeah, like now there's been some really terrible iterations of flavored candy canes over the years. There's been bacon; those tasted like liquid smoke, like god awful. The pickle ones, and I dearly love pickle, but those were a miss.
That's one of those ones where just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it, in my opinion.
It's like the Jurassic Park of candy canes.
Yeah.
The next song is all the way back from 1946, the Christmas song, which starts with the line, "Chestnuts roasting on an open fire." Do you eat chestnuts?
Is that what that song is called? I've never known that all these years.
Yeah.
In my almost 40 years of life, I never knew that was called the sleigh ride or Christmas song or whatever the hell you want to call it.
It's just the Christmas song. So, yeah.
Do you do chestnuts?
I don't think I've ever eaten a chestnut if it wasn't a water chestnut, which is not the same thing. Actually, that it's not true. I think I had them on a tasting menu somewhere, but I wouldn't know the first thing about cooking one, where to find them, nothing.
I would just make every time I think of chestnuts, I always think of like a chestnut spread or something. You know what I'm saying? Like not even eating chestnuts like that have been roasted. Just make a spread out of it, a cream, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, no, like a paste or something like that. Hey, listeners, viewers, if anybody out there has actually eaten like roasted chestnuts, tell us about it on social media. I'm super intrigued. The only thing I have read about them is that you have to cut them kind of like a baked potato first. You like stab them with a knife so they don't explode. So, yeah.
I feel like if you don't do that, that would be half the fun. It's a gamble. Is it going to blow up on me or is it not? And if it does, am I going to get burnt? Am I going to potentially, get hurt? It's all an adventure.
It's like
it's like deep frying a frozen turkey. You don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, you do,
but you know what's gonna happen.
Again, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right. I mean, I feel like that would be like a giant dangerous popcorn, like really, really dangerous popcorn. You'd be like, oh no, that's like artillery is coming out of the fireplace, right?
Melissa, tell me about how you lost an eye during Christmas. Well, it was the Christmas of 23. We were roasting chestnuts. We didn't stab them before we roasted them.
I forgot to score these with a knife, and that's how I have a glass. That's how I have a glass eye now, kids. Yeah, eye patch and hook optional. Look, I'm just going to put it on the record out into the universe right now. If I lose an eye, I don't want a patch. I want a Sammy Davis Jr. style glass eye. That's what I want. I want to be. Like yeah. Oh, yeah.
And be like, hey. I like it.
We're going to get canceled. We're going to get canceled.
This is awesome. I don't care what anyone says.
The next song, Run DMC's Christmas in Hollis. I have to know if you've heard this song.
Yeah, of course I have. Who hasn't heard that one?
Hey. So they talk about chicken, collard greens, rice and stuffing, macaroni and cheese. Do you have any of
That
those at
is a
Christmas?
Christmas I would smash and I want to be part of. I am
Yes.
so disappointed that no one has invited me to one of those Christmases yet, but I would love it very much.
I can for sure tell you that I've never, because I'm a vanilla person and I am very, very conditioned to think that two starches in a meal are somehow wrong when in reality there's nothing wrong with it. It's just delicious. I've
Yeah.
never had rice and stuffing at the same table ever. Thank
If it,
you, 90s almond moms everywhere. Like,
it would have to be like dirty rice with stuffing.
yeah,
It would be
yeah.
like plain rice. You gotta make it stand out, you know?
Now, I have had mac and greens together, which is pretty good. But yeah, but I would eat collard greens every week, truly. And what's not to love about mac and cheese too? Like, yes,
Or chicken.
or chicken, or chicken in the mac, or buffalo chicken mac and cheese, or
anything with mac and cheese is, in my opinion, out of this world.
Barbecue chicken mac and cheese. That's what I want. That right now.
Smoked chicken, mac and cheese. Blue cheese chicken, mac and cheese. Like it. I mean, I'm just making it sound better and better with every single one. You know.
Yes.
You could even do some sort of like Mongolian chicken, orange chicken, and mac and cheese. I'd be all about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add collard greens and all that good stuff too. Oh my god! Heck yeah!
It sounds. I want to make like it. Kind of sounds like the ultimate soul bowl. Like I want to layer all the things together, you know?
I'd be in for that.
I'm totally down for it.
Goals
hey,
one day.
everybody out there, everybody out there who listens to the podcast or watches on YouTube, first, thank you so much. But then next, we want to know what you're eating for Christmas. What are you cooking for Christmas? You can reach out to us, the Food for Thoughtcast on Facebook and Instagram, or head on over to chefstevengonzalez.com and let us know. Let us know what's happening, because if your meal is anything like that, as long as it's made with love, I want to know about it. I want to know about it. Yeah. All right, the next song. You ready for this? This is another song that I didn't realize had this title. So it has the line, right? There's a happy feeling nothing in the world can buy. When they pass around the pumpkin. Good Lord, it's been a long day, guys. When they pass around like I can't, reading is hard. When they pass around the coffee and the pumpkin pie, which to me sounds like a punishment, but I know you like pumpkin pie. So the song is called Sleigh Ride, and it's the one where it sounds like a horse is galloping in the background. I love that song a lot. Yeah. So
I just like the part about coffee and pumpkin pie.
I know you like pumpkin pie. I don't do pumpkin pie at Christmas though. To me, it's like Thanksgiving. Stay in your lane, Thanksgiving.
I could see that, but I could still see some pumpkin pie coming around for Christmas time too. I think we also had it around Christmas time. Yeah, we ate it. Yeah, I could eat it year round. You know,
I always just kind of relate like Christmas to like cheesecake, things like cheesecake and chocolate torte and things like that. Just like more rich and a little fancier. I don't know.
Yeah. But the reason why I'm all for it is because growing up, we also had like pumpkin empanadas. So like coffee, pumpkin empanadas, coffee and pumpkin pie. I'd be about it. Yeah, that'd be a good little, not the healthiest breakfast, but it would be a good little breakfast, if you will.
We don't have to measure food by health. That's not even the point. Just enjoy it.
After the holiday, they don't count. Yeah. Calories don't count until January.
I don't.
New Year, New Me.
I don't count them anyway.
Yeah.
It's all about fitness. I fitness food in my mouth. Hey.
Yeah.
So Frosty the Snowman has a corn cob pipe made out of an actual corn cob. So corn at Christmas or not? I know you like corn, but corn at Christmas? Yay or nay?
I could do it, I guess. Yeah. Depends, Depends on the application. Is it cream corn? Is it corn on the cob?
Right.
Is it it depends.
I mean, of all the ways that corn is preserved, it's really
corn chowder.
It's like widely available all the time, but corn to me is summer. This one's the best.
I think if you're making a pipe out of a corn cob, then you're a pretty good MacGyver, and you find all sorts of ways to smoke. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
That's expensive though, because you can just use a piece of aluminum. Never mind. You know what? Never mind. All right. So
Use a can, yeah.
Everybody out there's like, what did you say? And so yeah. Hey, I went to college once, guys. All right. So eggnog, the famous song "Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer" mentions she was drunk on eggnog. Do you like eggnog?
I do actually, yes. I used to love it when I was a kid, and then I went through a phase where I didn't care for it so much. But then once I realized you could put alcohol in eggnog, I liked it again.
I mean,
but it's got to be like a good one. You can't put like Moscato in there. That's just weird. I'm sure people have done.
Oh, that's cursed. Steven,
that queasy feeling in my stomach's coming back now.
It's coming back. You know, you could put alcohol in sauerkraut. Does that not change that? Or it's not the same rules?
Oh, yeah. No? Hold on. I'm going to have to go throw up now.
Wait. So eggnog.
I don't know. What's your on eggnog?
I go back and forth. So I like it when it's used in a cocktail. I think, you know, otherwise to me, it's like drinking it, you know, it's custard, right? And I've never really gotten to the point where I could enjoy it straight, whether it was leaded or unleaded, because to me, the texture is just like, I don't drink cow milk, so it probably has a lot to do with it. And I mean, it's not for like virtue reasons, guys. It's just, I don't like it. And so I think it's too viscous. And to me, when I'm drinking, it has all the nutmeg and cinnamon and whatever else it has in it. The only thing I can think of is like, cool, French toast batter. Like, it just doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't.
I can see that. That would be awesome, actually.
I mean, the reality, right? You know, that eggnog is basically, it's a custard base, right? Like, kind of the idea is that you could take that same base and make creme anglaise, pastry cream, pudding, ice cream, you know, custard, flan. It's all kind of in the same family. It has the same ratio of ingredients, and it's just not something, or it's not something that I want to drink at all. I don't know.
Yum. You're wrong. You're just wrong. I would make my French toast with eggnog, and then I would drink the eggnog afterwards. I don't care if there's a raw egg in there or not. Just throw a little bit of some whiskey with it. You're fine.
I think one of the most surefire ways to make a really easy eggnog, if anybody's stuck on a recipe out there, guys, just go buy a pint of ice cream and let it melt and then add whiskey. Really push the easy button. Or you can do rum, right? Like, you know, easy button. It's
now, would you add whiskey or rum to your eggnog if you were to do it? That's a good question. Spiced rum?
Whiskey, and absolutely not. I don't drink rum at all. No.
Okay.
I had my fill at a time in my life, and I'm done with it. Thank you. Thank you very much. No. The same way you are about like biting into a whole apple, that's how I feel about smelling rum. Yes. Like, that's that.
Fair enough. Well
played. Enough. Yeah, enough. Next song, Steven, you ready?
Tell me.
All right, it's "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." They demand figgy pudding. They say they will not go home until they get the figgy pudding. Like, what is figgy pudding?
Have you ever had figgy pudding?
I've had, get ready to giggle. Are you ready? I've had spotted dick, which is very similar. It's not pudding at all. Yeah. The Brits call what we call cake pudding. So, yeah.
Go ahead. I've never had figgy pudding, and the weirdo in me would never try it. I don't know.
Do you like figs? Let's start there.
I do like figs, yeah.
Like figs only in Newtons or other things?
I would eat them like as is, raw. I like them on jam. I like them raw.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love a good fig preserve. I like to cut a fig open and stuff it with blue cheese and bacon and then broil it. It's really delicious like that. Super tasty. I like fig Newtons a lot, probably a little bit too much. There's a dessert. I'm going to make it for you one day, Steve. It's very
Okay.
similar to this. It's called a clootie dumpling. It's Scottish. And I think I would try this because it's not incredibly too far off. It's beef suet, or, kind of similar to lard. Eggs,
Yeah.
brown sugar, all sort of dried fruit, usually citrus zest and brandy. The clootie dumpling has grated apple in it, and it has currants and sultanas, kind of like the raisins. And if somebody put like pureed figs or nice, really, really well cooked or, braised and sweetened figs inside of a warm steamed cake, like I'd throw down. I would totally
I
throw
can see
down.
that. Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested to try it. So there's a place not too far from here that serves, all things British, and I think I'm gonna go hit that. I'll report back. So yeah.
Your homework. You gave yourself homework. I hope you understand that.
I gave myself homework to eat cake. It can't be that bad. It wasn't arsenic sauce in a toadstool sandwich.
Yeah. Toadstool and sauerkraut sandwich.
All right. So the next song is "We Need a Little Christmas," and I never remember which song that is until I remember that it starts out with "Haul Out the Holly." But yeah, they tell us in the song to cut up the fruitcake. Do you like fruitcake?
I go with the stereotype of fruitcake is the nastiest thing in the world, but I would probably eat a little bit and then call it. I would it's not my thing,
Yeah,
it just sounds like it's too much sugar at this point to me in my life,
So there are actually some places around the world where fruitcake is the traditional wedding cake. And one of the reasons why is because it has almost an infinite shelf life. If you have enough sugar and enough alcohol in it, it could never go bad, right? And then it's not exactly, I don't know if it's famous to people outside the state. Collins Street Bakery in Corsicana, Texas, does a fruitcake that is all mostly pecans, and then they do a traditional one as well with the green maraschino cherries and the dried pineapple and things like that. I personally, dude, I can't get enough fruitcake. It can be crappy, be fancy, mid. Is that what the kids say? Yeah, mid. Mid-level. I guess that's what that's short for. I'm really showing my age right now, but it's okay. Elder millennials unite. I don't know what the words mean, but fruitcake's freaking delicious. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I feel like I would use that to make some sort of French toast. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Would you?
If we're gonna go there, I would not use fruitcake, but I would 100% and have used panettone to make French toast with lemon creme glaze.
Totally.
Yeah, that's the ticket right there.
Toast my goats.
It's the ticket. That is fat kid stuff right there. So, yeah, buddy. Yes.
I would get creative with that. I'd find a fruitcake bread pudding. I feel like it would just be kind of.
Yeah.
It kind of already is one though, no?
It almost is. It depends on, who makes it, where you get it. I feel like you could do a pretty easy pedophore with this. Find one that's firm enough and dry enough, or freeze it into tiny little cubes, kind of like fruitcake croutons, and dip it in super dark chocolate with a sprinkle of sea salt. I bet that wouldn't be terrible,
Or maybe a little bit of some bacon or some prosciutto or something in there.
I want to put bacon in all the things. I don't know.
Bacon,
I don't know about
butter.
the prosciutto. I think it's too fatty. For me.
Well, it would have to be cooked out,
I'm not saying. Well, you could use speck. You could use speck, or Serrano. You're talking about putting a lard on in the fruitcake?
No, I'm just talking about putting some salty pork with it,
I see.
Just to balance out all that sweetness. Yeah, I should probably have specified.
I was like, I don't know how it's gonna work. When you make fruitcake, I don't want it.
I want like something salty to balance out that sweetness because
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with me lately, but like the thought of too much sugar just makes me kind of like nauseous. So,
It makes my teeth hurt. I'm not saying that I don't indulge. I love
oh yeah,
sugar.
totally, I still do, but
But yeah, no, I totally get that. I feel like this would be like a hey, I'm gonna taste a little bite of this and I need to have an order of fries on standby.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel some sort of like dry
Yeah.
sparkly wine or something to really just cut all that sweetness. That'd be kind of good.
Yeah. I mean, like I think like a German, like an ice wine, that's something that has a citrus note and a lot of minerality on the back end would work really, really, really well with that. It would kind of cut some of that sweetness, I think. Yeah. Okay. The
Uh,
next song I don't even know. It's called Christmas is Coming. Have you ever heard this song?
yeah, isn't it? Christmas is coming to town.
No.
No, it's not, is it?
No. I feel like there's a lot of songs out there, at least like the not religious, more commercial Christmas music, where you could interchange the word Christmas and Santa and presents and love and joy and whatever else and winter, and it probably wouldn't change the meaning. I'm just saying. Yeah. This song talks about geese. So we talked about geese or a goose in our Game Birds episode. But yeah, have you done a goose for Christmas before?
I've never done goose for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I always, especially over the last like I don't know decade or so, I've just always done like prime rib stuff like that. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So no turkey, no ham. I'm not a big ham person for Christmas. It's always beef
Do you
and
get
menudo.
do you do tamales at Christmas or no? We do.
We
We
used to. I haven't
or
done that in quite some time.
yeah. We have before. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do this year. I kind of just need to press that easy button there with some beans and rice and tamales with chips and stuff. Yeah.
Starch with more starch and more starch. Sign me up. Heck yeah.
Hey, where do I sign
Okay.
up?
Question. When you eat your tamales,
Question.
do you use ketchup or do you use any kind of sauce with that? Salsa?
It's ketchup
What's your go-to?
It's ketchup or chili or both. Like
Bro, I
not
am
like
not
chili, but
opposed to ketchup
like
either.
con carne, like chili sauce.
I
Dude,
don't really eat ketchup, but I will totally do it with my tamales because I remember I loved that as a kid. And so I still like those flavors together. I don't care what anyone says.
Look,
but now it's like if I can have like a bomb ass queso with my tamales, you better believe I'm having that.
There is, a fine line of there's actually not much, I guess I wouldn't do, with food. I really love experimenting and love the way different things taste. And more often than not, I mean, it even come across as like shock value, but it really isn't. It's just because I want to know what it will taste like. One of the things for me, the same, dude, I have an ungodly love affair with ketchup. I love ketchup, and I'll put it on all sort of things where it doesn't go. Admittedly,
Would you put it with goose?
Huh?
Yeah. Would
Yeah.
you put it with goose? Yeah.
Yeah, would you? Why not? But like a nice like a cranberry.
I feel
ketchup.
like you would brine your goose in ketchup.
No.
We made a nice ketchup brine.
There's not enough salt. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, that's terrible. That thing's like pink. It'd be like pink.
I bet your guests would be like, Melissa, this is still raw.
Oh, isn't
It's
that the
all
best?
pink.
Don't you love when where was I going though? Hold on. Pizza and ranch. Like I've tasted some phenomenal pizza in all sort of places, but that's the thing from when I was a kid where I was like, yes, pizza with ranch. This
I still do it. I don't know what you're talking about.
I still do it, but I won't do it at like the foo-foo fancy, the foo-foo fancy pizza place. I'm not gonna have ranch anyway, so it's a non-issue. But dude, don't you love when people order smoked chicken and then they try to say it's raw near the bone because it causes that reaction where it's pink spot, but it's not actually raw.
I just tell them, I'm sorry that you got a raw piece. I cooked it to 165 degrees internally, but if you think it's raw, I know you're wrong. and that's on you.
That's
So that you can
terrible.
see how this is all your fault for ordering the smoked chicken.
Man,
That's something I would probably say.
some pretty incredible guest skills you got there.
I'm sorry, our
Steve's-
chef sullied your experience. We've got our best people on it.
We're on it. About Hanukkah, in the popular holiday song, "Oh Hanukkah," they mentioned latkes. What is your take
Is
on
that
latkes?
the one that Adam Sandler did?
No, his is the Hanukkah song. So he
That's
talks about.
that's a great song.
I can't remember what all he talks about in there. It's mostly celebrities' names, but yes, I stan Adam Sandler hard. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But latkes, dude, I can eat my body weight in latkes.
I haven't had enough latkes in my time, but when I do have them, which is very few and far in between, I like them. They're good.
Do you do sour cream or applesauce or ketchup?
I would do sour cream.
I like sour cream and applesauce together, and I really, really like it's not uber traditional, but I really, really like a little bit of chive in mine. Inside.
Oh yeah.
So.
I feel like you could do it with like a chive and garlic like cream cheese spread, like a whipped cream cheese with your sour cream. That would be pretty good, huh? But
yeah, I mean,
I
think that's definitely like one option. I also really, really like to just grate a yellow onion in there. I like the sharpness. The potatoes is blank canvas. It needs just a little bit of something.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Oh, most definitely.
So good.
I'm all about it.
All right.
All about that.
What about?
Have you ever made latkes before?
Oh, tons of times. Yeah, hundreds of times.
I need to catch
up. So the next song, "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year," has a line in it where it says, "Parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting." Do you at all equate marshmallows to Christmas time? Is it hot cocoa, or are you toasting marshmallows for something else?
I'm toasting marshmallows on an open fire. Right? That's how the song goes?
No, that's chestnuts.
No. No, I think marshmallows are awesome year round.
Yeah.
I would do marshmallows with hot cocoa because that's just awesome. And whoever thought of putting those two together, I want to shake their hand and give them a big hug because it's amazing. But marshmallows over the fire, like toasted like that, that's good too.
Yeah, it's delicious.
What's your take on it?
I don't ever. Maybe Rice Krispie treats at Christmas time is kind of like the closest I'll get to any sort of marshmallow action. I always just relate like a s'more, to the summertime, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't drink a ton of hot chocolate, but when I do, I prefer it adult style and sans marshmallow. So, a little Bailey's. That's how I like my hot chocolate, or a little Kahlua.
I do too. Yeah. But the problem though is once you get to the end of your cup, you're like, oh, this is too rich. This is too much. I need some water.
So what do you? No, I don't think it's just you. What do you like? Marshmallow flavored things, or marshmallow cream, or like marshmallow fluff?
I like it all.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I like it all.
Me too. Back on fast food, the Fast and the Curious, we talked about Culver's. Culver's has a marshmallow mix-in that's cream, and it's like a marshmallow shake is my favorite thing to get there. So good.
They have that stuff at like Dairy Queen too, like with their blizzards.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they do like the marshmallow flavored stuff, and I'm all about that too.
Mm-hmm.
All about it.
The next song, a bit more popular, "The 12 Days of Christmas," where they give the worst gifts ever in the total of 23 different birds. Just terrible.
I don't even know all the things that they give for Christmas. I think that is such a silly song.
The birds. I actually love this song. I was just talking to some good friends of mine about this the other night. I like the song, and I like all the parodies of the song, and I like all the different versions of the song, but they do talk about pears. Do you do pears at Christmas?
Not really, but I like pears, so I wouldn't. If they were in front of me, Like
Yeah.
if I went to a Christmas party and there was a charcuterie board with pears, yeah, I'd eat some pears.
Yeah. I
Totally.
mean, so the song
Pear jam, I'd eat
technically,
that too.
right, it says like a partridge in a pear tree. So I kind of have this feeling, right, that Stephen would walk up to, well, maybe he would like sneak up to the pear tree and he would shoot the partridge to eat later. And then, he might garnish it with pears. I think that's a fair assessment.
That's a pear assessment right
It's
there.
a
Yes.
pear. Oh, I'm gonna need you to pare it down a little bit. Is that what we're doing now? Because we could go there, my friend.
We're going we're going all puns now.
That's quite a pair you
I
got
don't
on.
care what you
But
say.
anyway, yeah. Yeah. All right. So in the very beginning of this song, Let It Snow, you know the one? Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. They say it doesn't show signs of stopping. They're talking about the snow, which I'm very unfamiliar with as I live in Texas. And I brought some corn for popping. Like, are you eating popcorn specifically at Christmas or not?
In the bit from the big tins that come with like
Yes.
sweet popcorn,
Like a
caramel
picture of
popcorn, and
a
regular
puppy on the
popcorn.
front. Yes.
I haven't, yeah, totally. I haven't done that in years, but yeah, it takes me back to my childhood whenever I see those tins.
I am easily amused and incredibly cheap. And I'm just talking about the food here, ladies and gentlemen. I like to take the divider out of the middle of those popcorn tins and then put the lid back on and shake it. So it's kind of like a Garrett's, like caramel cheese, and then use the buttery popcorn throughout, and then I'll dump M&Ms in there, whatever. Yes, I've eaten an entire bucket of popcorn in one setting, and I don't care what you think about it because yeah, it makes me
What do
happy.
you do with the tins after you're done eating all that
Oh, I
popcorn?
used to use them for storage. Sometimes I use them for ottomans. Like I tried to. So the Christmas popcorn tin is the equivalent of like a milk crate in my early 20s. I would keep milk crates from dairy deliveries and I would use them for everything, everything. So yeah, what do you use those for? Do you keep them?
No, I never keep them. That's why I ask.
But they always have like a picture of a sled or a truck or like puppies or I don't know.
Be that as it may. Whoops. Be that as it may, I've never used them.
Steven's throwing things all over his studio over there.
Right. Phone falls. Now I can't use my notes for popcorn.
Hey.
I don't think you need notes for popcorn though.
Rocking around the Christmas tree says
And
they'll have
pumpkin.
some pumpkin pie later. I don't, what is this like? I feel like this is a conspiracy by Big Pumpkin. Like, I don't understand.
This is the song that transitions from Thanksgiving to Christmas because a lot of people still are having their pumpkin pie and they're getting ready for Christmas. So I always think of Home Alone when they're all having that big old fake party. And
yeah, when he has the cardboard cutouts and he's
Oscars
making
have
him
the pumpkin
dance.
pie.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I think of whenever I
Dude,
think of the pumpkin pie and the song.
I didn't want it in November, and I don't want it in December.
I will eat it in January. I will eat it in February.
I will not.
I don't care.
I will not
I'll
do
eat
it.
around.
Steven, what is wassail? Do you know what wassail is?
I know what a waffle is, but what's a wassail?
Wassail is like wassail. Yeah. Wassail.
Like
I have no.
spiders
Hey, look. If anybody out there knows the right way to say this, please. But I think it's wassail. There's a song called "Here We Come a Wassailing." It is a hot mold cider, usually apple. Sometimes you can put cinnamon sticks in it, whipped cream on top. Like, where do you fall on the apple cider debate?
I fall in the area of I would drink it. I fall in the area of I would throw some whiskey in it. I do not discriminate. I drink it, let it or not.
I really care a lot for like a hot mold red wine, like a Christmas type.
Yeah.
You put like cloves and star anise and cinnamon sticks in a crock pot with like, red wine and a little apple cider and brown sugar, things like that. I love apple cider though. I like it chilled. I like it hot. But again, it's one of the things that I associate with the harvest and fall, not Christmas. So I get it. I'm not saying that anybody's like wrong. It's just odd to me. I don't seek out cider in December at all.
Same here.
So yeah, I think it
People who
depends on a
do,
lot
good
where
for
you
you.
grow up, right? Like I think it really
Yeah.
depends. Um, and then first you have to
I
live
think
somewhere
I'm
where it
more
gets
like the
cold
that
enough.
kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, true.
yeah.
That's very
So
true.
there's a song called "A Marshmallow World." Do you know that song?
I have no clue what you're talking about. Marshmallow
Well,
World. I don't even know half the songs that we're talking about.
well, hey, you're getting a music education, and then everybody else is getting a food education. They talk about Marshmallow World. Obviously, it's about like how it looks outside when it snows a lot. And so they say it's time for play. It's a whipped cream day. So whipped
That's the world I
cream.
would love to live in.
Yeah, whipped cream. What are you? Tub,
Sign
can,
me up.
homemade all the time, or what?
Yes, all of it. I
Dude,
like it
I
all.
just really
I don't care.
no shame in my whipped cream game. Like I like Cool Whip a lot. I like Ready Whip. I don't care. Some situations call for homemade whipped cream and some don't. I just
Yeah,
I don't care.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please. All
Do you
right.
ever do like flavored whipped creams, or is it just like straight up whipped cream and like
I
sugar when you make it?
do. I like to do like a chocolate whipped cream, like cocoa powder, or you can shave chocolate into there as well. And then really love to use vanilla paste when I make a homemade whipped cream to get little vanilla beans like throughout. And then what about you? Like
Mhm.
you flavoring whipped cream with anything specific?
Coffee. I don't know why. To me, that's just like the thing to pair it up with.
So
Coffee
what do
whipped
you do?
cream. That sounds damn
You
good.
like an instant espresso?
Kind of, but I mean, I would probably get just like a small amount of coffee and add that in like at the very, very end, just to kind of get that little subtle hint, those
Mm-hmm.
little flavors. You know what I'm saying?
I almost feel like
So
you could make a really concentrated coffee syrup or reduction. That
you could do
way,
that too.
I guess it depends on how strong you want it. I always have instant espresso powder at the house, just for things like that. Mostly for, I just like to put a little bit in brownies. So, it's just a little depth. I like to put a little instant espresso powder and chili powder in brownies to give it that savory note in the back.
Yeah,
Little umami hit.
I'm all about that.
So,
Yeah, totally.
what do you, Steve? What are you cooking this week? Let's talk about it.
Um, well, I do get some days off, so I will be cooking. Let's see, I got some beef ribs out of the freezer. I just threw them into a brine because they'll absorb it eventually. So I think this week I'll do some of that. I'm on the fence of making some menudo, and then Christmas I will probably be making steaks, more beef.
Yeah. What are you
Beef,
doing
and
with the
more
steaks?
beef. What about you?
Anything? Any special sides for the steaks?
Now the usual: the garlic mashed potatoes, the Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever my wife wants. Whatever the wife wants is
Hey,
what she gets.
that's a good
Yeah.
strategy. I think that, like I said, I think I'm going to go the tamales direction on Christmas. I haven't consulted everybody else, but they're easy. My brother doesn't eat tamales, so he'll probably get a large hunk of meat in some form, like a steak, big sandwich,
There
chicken,
you
something like
go.
that. And then years past, I would have made them from scratch, but I'm far past that now. There are a ton of good tamales out there and a lot of good local
Oh,
folks that can
yeah.
be supported when you buy those tamales, which is really great. I think that tomorrow I'm going to make a little Thai food. I've been in the mood for Thai, so
Ooh,
I want to
nice.
make like a really spicy pad krapao, which for anybody that doesn't know, it's like beef, or you can use like pork or chicken, oyster sauce, light soy, dark soy, little scallion, garlic. I like ginger in mine, even though that's not traditional. And then a whole armload of thinly sliced basil right at the end. And then you just put that over a good white rice. And it's probably the most white lady version of that, but it gets pretty close to the flavor that I'm craving. So I like it. I like it a lot.
What are some other Christmas songs that you like that aren't really Christmas songs?
Last Christmas is one. I mean, it's like a breakup song, but it's probably one of my favorite Christmas songs. Because yeah, I don't know. I like that one. I like there's a version of the 12 Days of Christmas by Bob Rivers comedy that is the 12 Pains of Christmas. That is very sentimental to me. It's not only is it hilarious, but my mom and I would sing it together all the time. And there's the Redneck 12 Days of Christmas, also sentimental. Gosh.
Those are actual Christmas songs.
Those are like, those are
what
like
are songs that are not Christmas songs that you
but those are like very odd takes of Christmas songs, you know? Very, very strange. I know. I heard you.
Okay.
So I don't, you know, it's kind of like that, like what's a Christmas movie and what isn't. I probably at first I haven't really listened to much Christmas music this year. When I do, it is all pretty legit Christmas music, except for my favorite things. I listen to that. It's only when I watch The Sound of Music. So, what about you?
So you're gonna laugh at me when I tell you this, but every time I hear "Zombie" from the Cranberries, the very first time I ever heard that song was around Christmas time, and so I just associate that. I don't know why. It has nothing to do with Christmas. It's more of a political song than anything else. But
that's super interesting. Don't Cranberries have stuff to do with Christmas?
Well, Cranberries, yes.
The Cranberries, not the Cranberries. So much. Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, that's super interesting. I don't. And the years where I'm super in the mood to listen to Christmas music, you know, full disclosure, it's probably like the same 13 songs over and over. Just can't get enough. And then come about January 1st, I'm like, well, that's enough. Great. I'll see you next year. Like
I'm already kind of over the whole Christmas music. I don't mind it because they play it at work all the time. I get so busy that I just kind of zone it out. Mm-hmm. But that Paul McCartney song, that Wonderful Christmas Time song,
Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time.
Yeah, I'm so over that song. All the covers and all the.
It's like anything else, right? If too much of a good thing is not always a good thing. So, exactly. You know, if it wasn't for the oversaturation and the fact that you have to experience all the time against your will, then you might actually enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a pretty spot on assumption you got there, Melissa.
Well, hey, Steve, I've had a blast talking to you about Christmas food and drink in song. I hope you have a wonderful week. Everybody out there, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're joining us on YouTube, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Steven, let's get out of here.
Christmas time is present time.
Christmas time is present. Is that? I'm present. I'm present at Christmas.
There you go. See, it has more than one meaning.
Bye-bye, everybody.
See ya.